Hello.
Hi!
We haven't done one of these in a while.
No, and not here.
Oh, we haven't done it here. And Emily was just saying that we need to get some stuff behind here.
It's a bit blank.
A bit basic. What do you want?
I don't know.
Prints?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Maybe a big plant?
Ooh.
Big Ken could go back there.
Big Ken!
Oh, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Come on, buddy.
Big Ken! Perfect.
Fantastic. Look at that jungle behind us.
I love it. Goes in behind every one of your videos at the
does,
moment. It like follows you around.
Can't wait till we go to Cornwall. Bring it with us. We've got some talking points,
Certainly do.
but I think the big one is Pilates.
I'm qualified! Woo!
Well done. How do you feel?
Yeah, good. It hasn't fully sunk in because I
Yeah.
haven't taught yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I actually start teaching, it's gonna really like feel real.
Yeah.
But I've planned my first event,
Which?
which has completely booked up, and I have many, many people on the wait list, which is insane.
But you couldn't believe it.
Oh no,
Why?
I don't know. Like I thought that it would get maybe booked up, but just not so quickly. Like it literally got booked up on the same day
Yeah.
that I put, like within hours of doing it, which was just quite overwhelming. And I'm throwing myself in the deep end by teaching quite a large group
Yeah.
to start with as well.
15 people.
15 people, and I've only done groups of 4.
And the
So-
wait list, I think you've got 7 or 8 people on there now, including people that were saying that they want to bring their partners, and then people online that were saying they want to come along we haven't booked in yet,
Yeah, I think I've got about 8 people on the wait list.
which is really, really good. Is it
So-
you? Is it you or the Prosecco? What do you reckon?
Oh, it's probably the Prosecco.
That's really good.
But yeah, and then I'm just trying to knuckle down some regular class schedules as well.
Have you got any ideas about what you're thinking of doing? You haven't sat down to do it yet, I know, but
No,
have you got any ideas? And we kind of discussed this a little bit yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, I want to hit all base points in terms of making sure I've got like morning, afternoon and evening, just to make it accessible for everyone.
Yeah.
But obviously we're not going to have the same amount of Pilates classes on as we do
No.
the normal
sessions,
sessions,
yeah.
strength sessions
Yeah.
and stuff. So
But then also potentially Saturday as well, you're saying?
yeah, Saturday morning I'm thinking.
So morning, lunchtime, potentially evening. Don't hold us to this. And then maybe a Saturday as well.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it all?
Excited,
Yeah.
nervous,
Yeah.
a bit excited because this is a whole new realm for me.
Yeah.
And if you told me 5 years ago that I'd be going into a new career where
Yeah.
I'd be teaching a group of people,
If you told 20-something-year-old Emily.
I'd be like, you're having a laugh.
We said this in the last podcast that you wanted to do, I mean, Pilates, maybe not so much, it was the PTing side of things, but coaching.
Oh God, yeah.
So well done.
I just never had the guts, and because I've always boxed myself into being quite a shy person, I was just like, it's just not.
Not you.
Yeah.
You know.
But here I am.
So next is trying to get upstairs ready as well.
Yes, we've ordered. We've ordered some mats from the same company. We got the mats for downstairs.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. So I don't know, we've kind of explained it to everybody, but we'd messaged a person on Facebook saying we are interested in buying these mats because fantastic deal.
Yeah.
They're the 10mm thick ones. We didn't need anything bigger than that. 10mm is fantastic to cut up. Perfect. Bought a load of those for X amount, and we paid for next day delivery. And whatever it was would have been fair enough, but it was just the lack of communication from them.
Oh, 100%.
Which kind of put me on edge completely. And then every time I messaged him, there was a different reason.
Yeah.
Oh, so we didn't put it on next day delivery. Okay, well that's fine. Can you put it on next day delivery then, because that's what we paid for? Okay, then we put it on next day delivery. Okay, but the pallets have been split. Okay,
Yeah.
and then we received
2
and then
arrived.
2 turned up. So in good faith, we were just like, look, let's see if this relationship can be mended. Let's order some more. 2 reasons why: A, because the price,
And we still needed more for downstairs.
and we needed more for downstairs. And you can't really buy, so 10mm speckled. So we got the speckled ones.
Yeah.
Can't really get them anywhere. So we were like, right, let's do this again. And we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's been bank holiday.
Yeah.
So give them a little bit of like leeway, but we've got some tracking numbers and we can't seem to find our order. So, but they will arrive. We're optimistic, and as long as they get here before the 22nd.
Yeah. I could still do it downstairs.
Yeah, but
anyway,
I personally would think it would be nice to get Pilates and Prosecco downstairs, but get upstairs in some sort of, so people can have that tangible view of what it looks like.
Yeah.
But we've got dumbbells for you already.
Yeah.
Mats, not like the flooring, but mats. You've got some mats already.
Yeah.
But you want to get some more?
Just a couple more, because I think for my regular class schedule, I'm going to keep it to 6 people for now, just because whilst I'm gaining experience, which is the most important part.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, in terms of getting better as an instructor, just having small groups, I think, is going to be beneficial to me.
Yeah.
And then maybe as I get my confidence up and get more experience, I can deal with larger groups of people.
Yeah. But you may even do that. I don't know why I'm saying you may even do that. But I like doing that in one session, not all sessions. So like every session is like 6.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's why this event, I'm not too worried it being 15. It's going to be a bit more of a relaxed kind of approach. But
nice. In terms of like decorating upstairs, fairy lights, I think you said before as well.
Lots.
You want to make it look pretty. And I don't think there's anything else we need to kind of like cover with that. I think that's pretty much what we need to get you going. And then just make it look really nice.
I would like plants, but there's not much light up there.
No, we could clean the top bit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Could clean the top bit to get that sorted.
But yeah, just kind of like how we want it here is just welcoming and
Big Ken. Get Big Ken upstairs.
Yeah, we need another Big Ken.
If anybody wants to get us another Big Ken. Yeah, exciting times.
Yeah.
Good.
What's next?
So with you planning your Pilates, that kind of brings us onto the new block, doesn't it? We've just started a new block.
Yeah.
So we have been discussing, so if I tell you the limitation or the problem that we face as a small group, hopefully it will explain why we've done it.
Yeah.
I guess, because I think it's just easy to say what we've done and then you guys are like, oh, that's great. But I like to obviously explain the why. Yeah. I think the why behind the business is really important.
You're a very deep man.
So they say. The problems with small group personal training is it's very short and quick, so it's 45 minutes, and you're getting people come in with injuries, ability differences, even just the amount of time that you've been training for. So training experience is a big part of it as well. So like, let's say, for example, myself, I've been training for 10 years. Anywhere I go, I think you could say to me, Sean, do this, and I'd be pretty confident with the movements. And you wouldn't need to coach me that much because I know how to adapt it. So training experience is a big part to it. Confidence, even when you come into a new place, although you may know what you're doing, you're kind of not confident with some of the equipment. All of those factors play into a coach's ability to coach in a certain way. So what we've been thinking of doing is having like a tiered system within the session. So not for the beginning bit, not for when people do their movement prep, which will always kind of stay the same. We do a little bit of movement prep, get the heart rate up, obviously focus on, warming and mobilizing the body, ramp. It's the main block. So let's use Monday as an example. Let's say, for example, it was push, so upper body push. We're thinking of having a 3-tiered system where you've got tier 1, and again, disregard the names. We'll think of some better names at some point.
Yeah.
It's the system that's important. Tier 1 is essentially just teaching people how to do the movement. So if someone's got very low training experience and not been doing it for very long, or you've currently got an injury, let's say you've got a shoulder injury, tier 1 would be fantastic because you're not then worried about lifting really, really heavy or doing some, elaborate movements. You're just looking at rehabbing the body and just going through the movements. Tier 2 would be hypertrophy, so toning hypertrophy. So you're looking at controlling the weights, controlling the tempo, but sticking with quite a high weight throughout the whole thing. And then you've got tier 3, which is strength, which is progressive overload. So you start lighter and then you go heavier and you're recording your metrics, and then your 6 reps are really, really heavy. Now, if that's just completely gone over your head, that's fine because I'll explain it more in the sessions. But we're kind of trying to figure out a way to combat the different varieties of people that come in. I think that's the word I want to use.
Yeah, so
the variations of experiences.
Yeah, so it's not just a standard template when you come in.
Yeah.
It's a bit more personalised in a group setting.
Yeah, because we've got to look towards the future. It's So all well and good me knowing what everybody can do,
Yeah.
but if someone else is coming in to cover me, which is going to happen at some point if we want to take holiday, and of course we want more coaches to come on board,
Yeah.
they're going to need to know who's where and what's what. And I think that's the easiest way for them to be able to come in and be like, oh, that person's a tier 2. They're looking at tone and hypertrophy. Okay, so I know in my head I need to make them do this with that movement, and I
Yeah.
can push them a little bit further. That person's only just started, so they're tier 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to get them moving and mobilizing and just learning how to do the movement.
Yeah.
Just makes it so much easier rather than having to try and remember off the top of your head. So
Yeah. And for new people, do you like to see how they move?
Yeah.
To start with, anyway, just
Yeah.
to see what they can and can't do.
I do, and I think that's also why we've focused on trying to get people in before the 6-week block starts.
Yeah.
Because if you then do it, let's say 4 or 5 weeks down the line, which is okay if someone joins in 4 or 5 weeks, they're starting, and it's like, well, everybody else is like 6 weeks ahead. So you're kind of, the group is going and they're moving and they're like,
Yeah.
they've got momentum. And you're like, okay, well, you're lifting a little bit heavier now than you did 4 weeks ago. Someone new comes in and you basically have to kind of taper your own energy.
Yeah.
So I'm going up to, let's use people's names, hope you don't mind, James Desira.
Yeah.
Going up to him, right, mate, let's go. You're pushing it a little bit harder today. Week 6, let's fucking ramp it up.
Yeah.
But then you get someone who's new, and then you've got to go back and be like, oh, okay, let's just.
So the tier system
It does kind of work.
kind of helps.
So coupled with the fact that obviously we take people on during the 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to trying to see how that goes. We're emerging strategies, as you guys know. So we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works for the next couple of weeks. But we're doing 12, 10, 8, 6. So 12 reps, 10 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps, and the tier system will hopefully cover all 3 of those as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
We're constantly trying to think how we can make this a better experience
For sure.
for everyone.
Just for you guys,
Yeah.
not for me. Much better experience for you guys. And I think there's a big part of it. I think, I've seen it before where you go into a gym, and this is what we discussed before. Someone like Emily, for example, would come to a session and you'd be left because you know what you're doing, and the coaches would then focus on the newer people. And I don't think that was like specifically intentional. It's just kind of looking at you going, oh, she knows what she's doing with this,
Yeah.
so carry on. And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but then I just no longer got pushed, and I am someone that needs to be pushed.
Yeah. And I think that for me makes it easier because I'm like, not that I'm going to label you. You stick a label in your chest in tier 3. But in my head, I then know what everybody's doing. I'm like, right, you're tier 3. Okay, I can push you in this, this, and this way. Tier 2, I can push you in this. You've made the choice, but we know what to do. Yeah. And this block, we've also bought a load of new equipment.
We have.
So, sled track.
I thought you said sidetrack.
Sidetrack. Sled
track.
Which is still, we've got to cut the mats.
Yeah, that was also
That was
a
also
whole
bloody
thing.
faff. So the sled itself was 1.1 meters long, so a meter and a centimeter. So when we put it in between the mats, there was an extra centimeter of overlay.
Yeah.
So either cut the mats off a centimeter, which could have done, but it was faff, or try and move all the mats. But moving some of the mats because they're up against the wall didn't work. So we've got to cut the mats that are up against the wall.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that until we got the more mats. So then if anything goes wrong, we've got spare mats to cover the damage. So there's that. Dumbbells, like we said, for Pilates. We've got them. We've got some fractionals. We've got a new bar coming.
Yes. Did we go for a
No, we didn't go for that one in the end.
Zeb
We'll
bar,
go for that one at some point.
Yeah.
That's kind of a luxury, but we have got the safety bar.
Yes.
So if you don't know what a safety bar is, it sits. I always think of it like when they put those things over donkeys. It's not that. You're not a donkey, but it's got 2 handles here, and it sits on your back, and it's got cushions, and it's just a much easier position to put your hands in when you're squatting, rather than trying to rely on your shoulder mobility.
Yeah.
And I prefer it for split squats as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, it just sits on your shoulders. You can let go of it,
Yeah.
and then you can hold on to it, put your hand on there
So
like that.
Probably wouldn't advise to let go of it.
Don't let go. I can, you can't. But yeah, that'd be fun. Obviously, we've got the ski erg as well.
Yeah.
So we've got loads.
Yeah.
We've done well.
And we've got to do our next unlock as well, haven't we?
Yes, we do. Well done.
Well done.
So we haven't decided what we're going to go for yet, have we? What are the 2 options? Did we say this?
Well, it was either the actual sled,
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
but then I don't think we've decided what the other option is.
No. But I think sled is going to be the option.
Yeah.
think a
Just
lot of
because
people
we've
have said
got
it.
the track.
Just because we've got the track. But we've bought the slidey shelks. Well, they're in the Amazon basket. I need to go get them.
Oh yeah.
What was the other option that we said? We said one the other day, and I thought that was a really good idea. Can't remember. No.
Was it one of the bars
No,
that we were looking at?
no, it was something else. Oh, yeah, anyway, Slade. When we remember it, we'll tell you about it. But yeah, exciting times. We've got loads in the space of I mean, it's been a month now. Just over
we've
a
been
month.
here a month.
That's gone bloody quick, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's really starting to come together.
It is. It really is. Future events. You've got your Pilates.
Yep.
Because we haven't got anything penciled in, and we need to do that.
No, we wanted to do another.
We're good at this.
Unfuck.
Oh God, you're back.
You're back.
The unfuck your back one. Yeah, that's just getting
The
back.
unfuck series.
That's fine. We'll get back in touch with Ollie and get that sorted. To be fair, he's been very patient because obviously we moved here.
Yeah.
But it's time to get all these things back in place now. So we've got our quarterly, which will obviously be. So we last one was in March, January, February, March, April, May. So June next month.
Yep.
So the goal setting or quarterly goal setting, we'll basically review our goals. We'll do that. We've got an unfuck your back.
Yeah.
Pilates.
Yeah.
Pilates and Prosecco.
Yeah, and I want to do some sort of games.
Yeah. Yeah. I was resistant to it.
We haven't spoken about the Tuesday sessions.
Yeah. We'll go back to
we're
that
making them slightly more competitive in a sense.
We are. I didn't want to for a long time because the word competitive comes.
Not against clients.
No, but it's
still,
me versus you.
Yeah.
It comes up as quite a negative word when you say competitive, but I want it to be you versus you.
Yeah.
I want it to be where we're looking at the time that you can do a workout in, or we're looking at how many reps you can do in the workout, and then the next week it's the same workout, you're just trying to improve on it yourself. And we may stick with that for the whole month. You know, we have 4 weeks of the same workout and you're trying to improve it every single time. But the problem with that is people will do anything they can to improve it. So like, I'm not saying people would, but you'd cheat your reps, for example, or you'd not be feeling so well and you'd try to work harder. So I don't want to be like, yes, it's 100% competitive, but I do want it to be a bit more of a push session.
Yeah.
You are challenging yourself a little bit more. Challenging yourself, but not competitive.
Yeah.
But it also fits into that demographic every time.
Moving on.
Demographic of people who then want to be competitive with other people.
Yeah.
Like I can be. Like rugby was a really big part of my life, and that is a competitive sport. And I did like going up against other lads, and I did like that. And me and some of the other people that train here, guys and men and women, we do like being a little bit competitive with ourselves and others. So I don't think it is a bad thing. Again, similar to the tiered system, that we give everybody that option, but it's completely down to you to not be competitive.
And you don't have to take it seriously.
No, don't take it seriously. No, we don't take anything
fun
seriously
competitive.
here. Yeah. Yeah, fun competitive in a way. But that does mean that for the next couple of weeks, the workout's going to be the same on a Tuesday. So it's still engine room, but it will be a competitive engine room. And then on a Thursday will be our classic engine room where it's, it's non-competitive and it's just enjoyable and fun and we have fun. And then we've still got boot camp on a Saturday.
Yeah. But then it would be nice to do like a big event.
Games.
That's like a games.
Yeah. That would be quite competitive, or competitive's a tough word though, isn't it?
It is.
I mean it in the sense where you're competing but not being competitive.
Yeah.
You're trying to work harder than you normally do in a session. That's what you're training for.
And you're in a team.
Yeah.
Of people.
Yeah, plenty of places do it. I mean, you've got Berry's Fittest. I mean, Rev have the Rev Games.
I think Iron Island did one recently.
Iron Island did. They did like a strength one recently, didn't they? And obviously Aventus have the Aventus Games that they do as well. So yeah, we do want to do something like that. It's a good shout. So that'd be something that we do. Hopefully, let's say June.
Yeah.
It's May now.
Yeah.
That's coming quick. June, July.
We're gonna have to get the dates out.
We're gonna have to get the dates out. We'll iron out the dates, but just to give you an idea what's coming up. Protein in the real world.
Yes, I really like the idea of this.
So I want to start having. Again, I'm so sorry to over-explain it, but hopefully it will give you a bit of an idea of why I do these things. We want to start designing this place to be a peer-based support system. So the tricky thing is, as you guys know, getting hold of me is quite a tricky thing.
Continue.
Getting hold of me is quite a tricky thing. I can throw out excuses, but I'm just busy. I've very limited time, and what limited time I do have, I try to switch off and I try to, do the things that I need to do for me. So excuses aside, dedicated time to you guys, but focusing on a specific question is important. So one of the predominant questions is, well, sure, like how do I get my protein in, or how much protein should I have? So having like a seminar or a workshop, whatever you want to call it, where we can get together, and that's the thing that we talk about. We're talking about protein, and me and Emily will buy a load of food, and we'll just put it all together, and we'll show you what X amount of grams of protein could look like if you're vegan or vegetarian or whatever it is that you are. We can look at the dietary requirements that you have, and then we can put together meals, not cook them, but the raw ingredients.
Yeah, because I just find saying you need 90 grams of protein or whatever, it's just a number I've plucked out. I'm like, but what does that look like?
Yeah.
I'm quite a visual person, so just tell me, because I don't like to weigh my food or measure my food for my own personal reasons. So seeing what it looks like, I think, will be really helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. And then also, ways to get more protein.
Yeah.
Snacks, stuff like that. And then we've got a couple of others that we're thinking of as well. So swim.
Yeah.
That went down really well.
Like to do a quarterly swim.
We've got a nice little group of people that like to swim, as well as we still have our coffee mornings on a Tuesday. But we do need to get more events booked in and planned in and mapped out. I think we both discussed aiming for like one every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is a nice little during the week or during the weekend. But 1 every 2 weeks would be good. But we need to iron that out as well. But those are the ones off the top of our head. But which we're excited about. We want to get them done. But yeah, that peer-based support just means that, we've got people that are coming and you get support for that specific question rather than having to try and rely just on me. You can have an event where you come in and there's dedicated time to you as a group for that question.
Yeah, and also not everyone has social media, we've found.
Sure.
So like
answering those questions online.
Getting information out is quite hard as well.
Absolutely. What else we got on here? WhatsApp. That was another bit.
That's what I was going into.
Huh?
That's where I was going.
Were you about to say it? I have to look at this. Sorry, go on.
That's why I was like, no one has social media.
No one has social media. You've nailed it. But this came off the back of someone saying, "Oh, I didn't hear about Emily's Pilates."
Yeah.
So they don't have social media, Facebook.
Which the people pleaser in me is like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Because you were saying earlier on how like you want to put on another session just to accommodate for everybody. I want to do 2 sessions now, so everybody can have a chance
back to back. Do some prosecco.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it is what it is. But to accommodate for the fact that people don't use Facebook, Instagram, this is something, again, if you've got this far on the video, we'll talk about it in sessions.
Yeah.
Creating a broadcast list on WhatsApp.
Because pretty much everyone has WhatsApp these days, don't they?
Yeah. So we can get that sorted. That's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
For GDPR, it will just have to be something that you opt into. You just have to say, I'll ask you, do you want to be in this WhatsApp group to get messages?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see on a broadcast.
I
don't know if you can't see
who's
in it anyway.
If you're in a group, if you create a group, you can.
Yeah.
But if you create a broadcast, you can't. But I don't want people signing up to something or being signed up to something that they want to be signed up to.
Yeah.
Because you all get emails, but again, the emails can tend to be a little bit more about what I'm doing rather than the specifics of the business. And I think the WhatsApp would be really good to be like,
particularly for events and things
for
like
sure.
that.
Yeah, and I think that's the distinguishing difference. The WhatsApp feels a little bit more intrusive, therefore it will be used more sparingly.
Yeah.
So it will be, there's an event coming up, here's the link if you want to book in.
Yeah.
Or here's some important news about the gym.
Yeah.
The emails can still be about, the newsletters, which are covering a few bases.
Yeah.
But specifically talking about the things that I find interesting, and we'll go from there. And then obviously nutritional stuff as well that we can put in there too. But yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. I think that covers everything.
Yeah, we smashed that.
Fuck yeah, look at us go. We're real podcasters now, look at us. If you've got this far, well done. The code word is tulips. So say tulips to me in a session if you manage to get to the end of this. But we need a sign
What do you get?
We need a sign off. A high five. It's a tulip. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening. See you in the next one.
In a year. Bye.